Hello, and welcome to the Steve and Mark Discuss podcast, where Steve is going to mention a subject. I will listen intently, I may interrupt him on occasions, and then I will respond to it. And then we'll just discuss any important points. So, over to Steve.
Hi, people. Well, from what I can gather with my image, I'm sat in a very dark room with, it looks like I'm being interrogated by the Gestapo, with this light shining on my face. But it's good to tell the people who are watching this that it's a really, really dark sky outside, and I'm waiting for the heavens to open with an awful lot of rain to fall. There was some thunder and lightning this morning. It even tried to take out the energy, but it didn't. But anyway, I digress.
Well, that's Brazil for
Let's
you.
get on to this podcast topic.
Yeah.
This you'll find interesting. This you'll find very interesting. It's right up your street. All things macabre. So, Julia McFadden, 41 years old she is.
Yeah.
She's a nurse in Los Angeles.
Right.
And she works in a hospice. She looks after the patients until they die. And she shares her experience in the final stages of the life of a patient. You know, we all seem to go through the same process before we die. And recently, she mentioned, or she opened up about what's called the death stare. What's the death stare? That's when the person who's about to die looks at a fixed point in the room and can't be snapped out of it. A bit like Mitch McConnell a couple of times. The podium, he just stared and just stared until they wheeled him away. And sometimes they even talk to somebody who isn't visibly there, like a loved one who's already died.
Yeah.
It usually happens a few weeks to a month before the actual death. So if Granny is starting to stare at the middle space, you know.
Just the end of night.
It's not going to be long before she pops up.
Yeah.
And this lady, Julia McFadden, she said that she wants family members to see it and know what's going on. So she wants the family members to notice the steps going on. When you see, I imagine when you see the first steps there, that's when you start taking the measurements for the coffee.
Yeah.
There's one example. A wife told a story to this Julia of a husband who had this death stare. And when he came out of it, he said that he saw Jesus. She said, well, different people see different things. But whatever it is they see, sometimes they see clouds, sometimes they see flowers, sometimes they see dead relatives. But whatever it is, it's normally very comforting, and they are happy. Some actually smile when they go to these death. So it's almost like she's saying that they go into the cusp of entering in the netherworld.
Yeah.
And I just hope that when I go, you know, that I'll be laughing as well.
It's not if you're happy.
Depends which way I'm going.
Yeah.
I hope that I'm laughing louder than the people that are around me.
I was going to say, when you go, it's not if you're happy or not, it's how many other people are happy that you are going. Yeah.
That's right. I can see them all starting to dance as they can see my grave getting closer and closer.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. This lady, she's going to write a book about it.
Yeah.
She has mentioned things about the death experience or near-death experience before, and she's going to write a book about it. And that's probably the reason why the article was on about it today. It only came out today.
Yeah.
So this is hot off the press.
Right. Well,
There you go.
yeah.
Away you
I
go.
remember reading this in an article when I was in my 20s, funny enough. So your perceptions of mortality change the closer, as you say, the closer you practically get to it. Yeah, hopefully I've got got an equal amount of more time left. But yeah, now there's could be different reasons for this. Okay, I'm a Christian, I'm a Catholic, I believe in an afterlife. But there's also, there could be a medical explanation that when your brain's shutting down, it might be even still trying to grip onto life. And don't forget, your brain is a load of neurons that connect and do things, and all the time it's developing. It might be they're breaking and it's trying to push them back together. So you get odd memories come into your mind. Yeah. And when the other parts of your body are beginning to, if you like, die off. So there could be something. It's like a car. It's going blah, 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 blah. The end of a motor, an engine on a car. It wants to go, but parts of it are saying, no, we can't keep doing this. Yeah. And the brain is just like that. The brain is effectively a muscle. There's all these connections that are dying off and things like this. And there might be limited channels, so things get mixed up. Could be lots of reasons. The other side of it all is, yes, I've heard of this where people have had the death stare. Some have looked happy, some have looked absolutely terrified. And I believe there's even one or two have actually commented that there's, seeing something coming towards them, that maybe they've done something in their life and their conscience is it's beginning to come back at them. I've heard people near-death experiences or people that have died, and normally it's a tunnel or something, or like you say, Claire, things like this, and running around, and then suddenly a bright light, and then back again. Yeah, not your time sort of thing.
Well, that sort of description of the bright light and tunnel and all that, that's normally the people who are on operating tables.
Yeah.
Who have their, which isn't the aging process.
No,
that is sort of a sudden.
Yeah.
People involved in accidents, people involved.
Yeah.
They aren't necessarily, but that's different. This lady, she's on about the normal expiration of the person.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. That's the dying
towards the end of their life, naturally.
Yeah, I mean, it might be almost 1 foot in the grave, 1 foot into the afterlife. There you're going. So you begin to see your destiny then. I'm going to get spiritual about this. Why not? I actually believe
this thing called, spiritual.
Yeah, I wish I could. I believe there's thing called purgatory, and reception of the understanding I have of purgatory is that you don't automatically go and see the gates, the heavenly gates in St. Peter Town Guard or the other place with a demon. You still have an opportunity to sort of be in the in-between type place. You're so close to heaven or you're so close to hell, you can hear them or feel them or sense them, probably. It could be part of this process. I think a majority of people actually make it into heaven. It's actually it's probably very, very difficult to get into hell unless you've actually got no remorse at all about anything. So yes, so people have actually possibly seen what's in store for them. Now, again, if you're going to consider what is the human soul, which is the core of it all, what's happening with that? Because, again, we're talking about two different things. Your body is a physical earth thing. When you're, Catholic, you believe in something called the soul, which doesn't actually belong to us, funny enough. It belongs to God, or the deity, or God, or whatever. I think it exists in other religions as well. So the soul will belongs to God. I mean, so you can't actually theoretically sell your soul to the devil. It's not yours to sell. There's all sorts of myths about all this.
If you go back to the ancient Egyptians, and Osiris, you know, when a person died, they had to go visit him in the underworld.
Yeah.
And there he put their soul, their heart, on a scale.
Yeah.
And asked them if they were good people. And if they were good people, he put the heart on the scale. And if the scale gave this ballot equilibrium, then they'd be sent up and receive their place in heaven. If not, they were stuck back. He didn't actually send them to hell. He sent them back to their grave where they were buried. To be left. Never to be seen again.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit like me talking about purgatory. It's the same notion, in effect. Yeah, you're weighed and measured. What's going on? Are you feeling things? I mean, yeah, we can go into dances.
Which is why I'm saying, because the ancient Egyptians were around before
that's it. So. Yeah, I mean, don't forget human perception and desire. I mean, maybe I do have a wish to think this is just it, and not be living forward to move into anything, which I think a lot of people, I mean, even Christians are scared of dying. Yeah, anyone who believes in the next life is still scared of dying because we don't know. That's faith. But yeah, getting back to your original point, yeah, there could be lots of reasons. I've heard it, the psychological thing, hanging on. People might see their past family members. It's comforting if they can. The brain likes to be in its comfort zone all the time, don't forget, especially here. So it will bring up a memory of a loved one, or even possibly a pet or something else. Or something will click in it and it's a bad memory, an evil thing they've done. If they've murdered someone, for example, or done something else. Yeah, maybe in a spiritual plane that we've spoken about before, the judging starts before you die. We're all on the same journey, ultimately. No one gets out of this alive. No one gets out of life alive. Yeah, I do feel sorry for people that try to live an absolute perfect life of what they eat and everything. Okay, not say perfect life. We shouldn't try and harm people or hurt people. You're going to upset people on occasions. That's what we do. We all have moments. Sometimes we feel sorry for it. Other times we think, well, I do feel sorry about it, but it's probably best I opt not to overdwell on it. But yeah, are we being judged on our journey of life? I think you and I both have a view on that. Are we both perfect? Well, I can speak for myself, Steve. I can't speak for you, but maybe yeah. It's an interesting subject. Just like I said, I read something years ago. They've done studies. They've watched people at the point of death. And yeah, the death stare. Again, it's a human being. If somebody's been bitter all their life, they're not going to suddenly be happy in their last moments unless that's what they want. Yeah, I do believe
it's interesting. It's interesting you say that because it's also a very similar process, if you like.
Yeah.
Getting drunk. If you're a sad person and you get drunk, the tendency is to be even sadder. Yeah. And if you're a happy person without any troubles in the world when you get drunk, the tendency is that you're one of those happy people that to get drunk and like to have a good laugh and so it's interesting to say that. It could be that as the brain is subdued, one way or another, you go to the extreme of what your makeup is, what your general makeup is when you're sober and when you're fully alive.
Yeah, I mean, it's stimulating. It's a stimulant. So that's what I'm getting back to what the brain is. The brain might be in the moments of life stimulating itself to remain active. Yeah, I mean, we could start talking about human consciousness, are we? But it is and human personalities. Do we all have a dark side? Of course we all do. You know, we're all capable of doing extreme things in certain situations. Yeah, this thing about getting drunk and all that. Yeah, it'd be like that. It'd be like having a stimulant. I mean, unless somebody's totally sedated. I mean, the saving grace is normally people are automatically shutting down. So the point of death, yeah, it's a release. It's the end of things. I mean, this thing of billionaires trying to figure out ways to live forever. Yeah, there will come a point when, yeah, there is an actual clearing out. Steve Jobs did a speech at Stanford University for graduates, where he spoke about it. It's a natural clearing process of things. And I'm getting onto this, it's a slightly different subject, but yeah, his focus on what he did. And people that have had I'll say near-death experiences, okay, when you've had treatment, you've come out, you're in remission and all that. People like that do tend to live every day more and more appreciative of hanging on to this life. Yeah, I don't know what, there's reports about Steve Jobs' last moments. And again, you can believe what you want to believe. There's no absolute definite proof about anything. I mean, this woman sees things. I mean, she works with it all the time. She's probably seen patterns.
Yeah, and that was the motive of the article. It's just to let the families know that when Granny starts staring into middle space and you can't bring her around, you know, she's probably very close to popping a close.
Well, that's it. It's the shutdown. Yeah.